Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this mid-60s Corvair go-kart. A quick little backstory on it. The dealerships, I think, sold them and raffled them off back at that time. And like, again, if your dad bought himself a Corvair, the kid would kind of want maybe a go-kart simulating the same thing, and this is what they had at the time. It's on a Rupp chassis. It's actually a copy of it was a concept car, then somebody made a go-kart of the concept car, and then this is kind of like a detuned version of that concept go-kart, if that makes any sense. So they started out calling it the Monza Junior, going after the Corvair family, and then later on they started kind of steering it to the Corvettes, hence the the front looks like a Corvette and the ass end looks like a Corvair. Well, it originally had a Tecumseh, over on the bench here, a Tecumseh engine on it, like 3.5 horsepower. We got it running. It ran poorly. You can kind of tell it needed a bunch of love. We took the rest of the cylinder head off. The bores kind of scratched up. The head gasket was marginal. Carb linkages were kind of screwed up. I think the governor's missing internally. The play for the governor shaft in there has got a bunch of play in it, like something fell apart. So although we got it running, we kind of decided we'll switch it up and maybe put a little bit bigger engine on it, and we'll keep this one just for keeping it with it, so we can keep it at original. So we ended up getting a Predator engine, a little Harbor Freight style ones, and it is a 212, which I think is about 6.5 horse, so it's probably double the horsepower. Well, the only thing is I don't want to cut the body, or try not to cut the body. And right now everything is just kind of sitting in place. You can see how tight it is. Here's the gas tank. You can't get a piece of paper between that and the body. And going down the side, the air cleaner's making it by about 1/8 of an inch, and the valve cover's probably got about 1/2 inch in there. So it's just sitting in there. The chain is looped up around it. Let's start moving forward with trying to get that more finalized and hopefully not tweaking the body at all. Again, the body's just sitting on there, so let's go lift that up with that ratchet strap. We'll start kind of trying to finalize things, get it running, get the wheels spinning, and see if we can get the body to fit on there without tweaking anything. But further ado, let's do some wrenching. So the first thing that's kind of showing to be a bit of an issue is you can see the chain tension that's on it. This engine would either have to go up, back or forward to take some more of the slack out of it. It has plenty of slide room, but again, we're already up against it with the gas tank. So I'm kind of wondering if we can maybe modify. It looks like it's got like a spring adjustment here that this plate can possibly go up and down. And other thing too is possibly maybe we could take a link out of it, or a half link out of it, and make it just maybe that much shorter, where we don't need to do too much tweaking. I'm of the thought that maybe we should probably put a new chain on it anyway, and I think I have some of this. So let's go try changing the chain, and we'll put a half link on it and see if that brings us closer. A half link, again, a full link is about that long, and then a half link is just one nugget here. So if we take one nugget out of it, which looks pretty close to it fitting, and then again we have some adjustment down here. If we're able to get that to be a little bit lower, it'll actually probably be better in that hole in the fiberglass. So I cut out another section of chain. You can see we both started even on that side. Even with that, the end was no good on the original one. If we line them up, the other side of it, yeah man, work with me. So you follow it going across, and you start losing it, and there's a difference about a third of a link anyway. So before we cut this one out and put a half link here, this is how short it actually will be at this barrel. Let's put it on here with this one and see if this makes much of a difference for us. Well, it's better. That's what it, you probably could even just run it like that. Doesn't seem like it's too far off. Let's look into this mount though. I see like a spring underneath it, and I don't know if it's just for changing the height of it, or is it, is it supposed to adjust as torque goes on it? I'm just not sure. So let's go unbolt one of them anyway. Actually, it looks like it's just supposed to be a motor mount. It's run all the way down. There's a rubber bushing, you want to call it, right there. And then the spring is just holding everything down. So it does have the capacity to, you know, lift upwards if it needs to. I don't know why it would though. Like, what would be the principle of that? But because this is all fixed, this is all one solid mount right here. All right, so let's go work with. I'm going to go screw with that chain a little bit more, see if I can come up with getting it a little on the tighter side of things. I think that's probably the window we're going to have to work with. Again, to adjust the chain, you would slide that engine forward and back. Possibly we could lift it up a hair and, I don't know, maybe put a washer or something underneath there so that plate goes up. So it took a few minutes kind of screwing around with it a little bit, and I put a couple of shims under the back side, kicked the engine up, and it gave us good tension on the chain. But the problem is now the exhaust it was close before, but now it's like we're right on. So I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to try doing the front. We have, if you're looking at that lip of the gas tank and the wall, it looks like about a ½ inch that we could play with. So maybe we can get the washers on that side of it, and maybe even, I don't know if we want to try shimming it with that plate right there, or just put washers under the motor mount. I think I'm just going to go with washers. I think if we start screwing with that setup right there, we're kind of inviting another variable. I move those shims to the front, and we have a good 1/16 of an inch. And the back of the valve cover, maybe a hair more than that. Maybe go like 1/8 of an inch, something like that. We can get rid of the air cleaner. I think we could probably modify it. Exhaust, that's still real tight to the engine. I mean, like, we're almost tight, touching the fiberglass. So we're gonna have to try to figure out, with the bodies off, we'll try to come up with something. Let's get the shell up out of the way. We'll fire it up, we'll spin the wheels, we'll make sure all that part's okay. We'll confirm that we're happy where it's gonna sit, and then we can start, modifying the other stuff to match up to it. I think we can take this top part of the air cleaner off. Seems like it's separate. The lower part's where all the controls are. We're gonna have to get into that anyway, because we're gonna have to make it so that, we could reach the throttle and the choke with the body on it. Will that split force? Come on. No? It looked like it. I'm gonna go poke around a little more, see if we can get it to go. I just saw those two there. I thought this top would have split from right there. You want to hit it with a hammer? There you go. You knew that came off. Yeah, they had it kind of glued on there. Now the body can kind of go on and off easier. We can. We also have to clock that pull start. What do you gotta do to get that? It's a 3-bolt one, so it's gonna change. Can we use that? It's got 6. I wonder if we can index it. I'd like to get that pull start facing that direction so we can have access to it. Let's unbolt it, see what happens. See if we can just index it 1/6. Yeah, it looks like we can, I don't know, what about, you think straight back wouldn't be better? I don't know if we could have access. Our next choice is right there. And I think we're pretty close to the body on this side. Not that we can't come up here with a bracket and let it, my idea was to like let it sit a little bit taller. Let's try it like right there. Let's go straight back for now. See if that works for us. Yeah, right up there. Does that mean we got to peel the sticker off and straighten it out? All right, let's get some oil in it and fuel. Here's the other thing too. We're gonna have all these controls. We're gonna have to have access to also. It's just fuel. on and off. This is going to be the choke. And then we have to come up with a throttle cable setup. I think this is going to be our throttle right now. I believe we can loosen up this hardware and we can come in with a cable through this linkage right there with the regular throttle cable and get rid of that. Let's get ahead of ourselves. Let's get some oil in it, some fuel in it. You ever wonder how you're supposed to check the oil on them? It's with the dipstick out. With your dipstick out. Yeah, it's not running into the threads. A lot of people try running it in and checking it. Not right. Yeah, see what she does. Throttle. Let's give her about a 1/4 inch. And her on-off switch, I don't know. Hold on. Can't see it. That's on. Pretty good. I got the stock muffler bolted back up on it. Clutch is decent. We got a little bit of play in the chain, which is nice. You can tell it does shake on that mount a little. Our clutch that we made is holding up pretty good. We made a bushing for in there on the lathe. We make it idle slower. Right there. See how well it'll cut. This engine was on sale. It was like $89. I didn't even need one. I just grabbed it. When I was picking up a bigger engine, they had like engine sales, so like 20% off or 30% off all the motors. Nice. Let's go see how low it'll go. You should have a decompression valve that it's going to hit. There it is. It's going to pop in. That's about as low as it'll go right there. Nice. Let's go rev it up and watch the drivetrain. Hunting a little bit. Try hitting the brakes. That's where the motor moves. When I was hitting the brakes, you could definitely see that motor mount doing its thing, the flex. I don't know if that's was the intended purpose of it, but it seems like it's doing what it should. Awesome, everything, nothing blew off, the chain didn't fall apart. Brakes seem like they are working. I don't know if we need to even get into them and maybe take them apart. You can see the shoe material right there. That looks all right. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it maybe. Blow the rust off the drum. So we got to get a pull start, we can have access to it. A choke, we can access throttle, and then run the exhaust down and around. Let's lower the body. We'll start maybe with that pull start first and see where's a good area for it to maybe make them out. I kind of thinking too, maybe if we index it a little further and have it come down here, maybe even if like we weld like a piece of tube to it and have the handle down under the machine and pull. But let's get the body down. Actually, I'm gonna unbolt the pull start first. We'll lower the body and we'll kind of figure it out from there. So essentially we have two things fighting for the same space. Here's that pull start coming up. I think we can come up with like a bracket somewhere around here, and then the pull start can just rest. And that's like a fairly natural place to go pull from it. I was looking underneath, we could do it, but when the machine's on the ground, you're gonna be like trying to crawl to grab the pull start and then reach up on top and grab the choke and all. We can cut this lever off. We don't need this long part of the lever. We can get rid of that. Here's the throttle cable. And again, it's gonna go attach on that clamp and go through there. We gotta loosen this up so that it's spring loaded to return. This is fast idle, this screw right here, how high it revs. We could change that, it'll adjust the speed. The choke is here. I think we could probably work with that. Maybe if we nibble away a little bit of this plastic here. This upper section holds the upper part of the choke. If we take this off, the choke lever will just fall off. That choke lever goes to a pivot on the carburetor. I don't know if it would be better if we get rid of all of it. It's hidden behind that hose back there. I don't know if you could see it. And then there's like a little, I'm looking way down inside there. And I also think that it kind of indexes the choke, you know, it like locks it into the off position. So for now, we'll leave this alone. Let's hook the throttle cable up, and then maybe we'll weld a bracket from this one. I think it's the only stiff thing that we have, right? We can always work off the pull start if we have to. What if we were to put a piece of hose over it? Do you think it'll still kind of flop down? You know what I mean? Like if we were to take a piece of hose, like fuel line, and put it on here where the return is right there, do you think it'll like fall down and hide, or do you think it'll just kind of stay just like that? What do we gotta do to get into the knot on this thing? Where is the knot on this thing? Can we get into it? Usually there's like a cap that you pull off the top. Maybe that whole thing comes off. Yeah, let's open that up and see if we can undo the knot. I think this comes out. And see if we can put like a piece of fuel line on that first before we try making a bracket. It's funny, sometimes you mentally have a path in your brain and you forget to kind of keep looking around at different options. I try to train myself to, while I'm picking at something, to keep trying to come at it from different angles, you know, instead of saying, okay, that's what I'm going to go do and that's it. All right, so that's our knot. Let's say I get a pair of vice grips on this, give us a little bit of play, work that out, and we'll take it apart. Give ourselves some slack. See if this one will put up a fight, or if we can unknot it. Sometimes they hit it with like a torch. You know, it locks it. Good. And let's go find a piece of fuel line that fits. Like, if that would work. You want to use so it kind of stays with it. Might be a little fat though. Let's try this one. We're going to want the handle, anything right about there? It just wants to play well. I have a feeling at some point it's going to want to drop down on us from time to time. Okay, so we need the base first. Think it'll work? I think it kind of holds itself enough to where it's within a working area. Plus it's all rubber, so it's not going to really hurt anything. We'll leave that for now. If we think that that sucks later on, we'll make a metal bracket and try to help support it. I think that's got it. Let's go for the throttle setup next. Let's see if we can get that to function. And we get that, then we'll move on to the exhaust. So we got to loosen up that throttle. What does that look like? 10 millimeter? 12? How about needle nose vice grips? Let's just hack it. We're going to want to move that till this lever is butter, if that's a possibility. Let's just get it real loose first. There it goes. So we need it where it's got enough, where it can like spring back on its own though. We could probably add a spring. It's almost there. Yeah, we might have to put a return spring on it. That's good. Alright, so that cable has to go through both of those. Can we get this out of our way for now? So what do we need? We need a Phillips screwdriver is what we need. It's like the first warm day. Bikes are out like crazy. That's the hold down. And this one I think just pinches through the center of it. I have one strand fighting us. Yeah, it's like nothing but constant Harleys going by. I had my Yamaha TW200 out. I gave it a little love last week, gave it a maintenance. And I had it up and running. And a friend of mine came over. He's like, "Let me take it for a spin." Let him take it for a spin in the sand pit. And 2 days later he bought one. So, I got a riding partner with the same bike. It's only at 200 though, so it is kind of lame as far as like on the road, but it's good in the woods. Well, what's good about it is you could ride on the road to a trail. So you got class 6 road, you just turn down it. That bite. And all right, so we want, that's idle, that's full throttle. So try it like that, and let's still go hit the gas pedal. And we'll see if it returns. I still think we're going to put like a return spring on it. Got something on here, giving it a little bit more pull, but let's just see if it'll return on its own. And if we get full throttle. If we cut that lever off. That's pretty good. Are we hitting? I can't. Hold on, let me get a piece of stick to hit the gas pedal. It's not quite full throttle. I think it's the cable that's in the way. Because that's full throttle. Can I get, if I choke up on it, yeah, I think I got a little bit of play. Let's go. You're going to want full throttle. What's the sense of having a big engine? Give her everything she's got. I want to make sure it returns the idle too though. Yeah, see if that does it. Lift it up so it's not hitting. It's almost. Plus, if we put a return spring on it, it's gonna fight it even a little more. Wonder if there's any way we can get any more stroke maybe out of the gas pedal itself, because I work with how much throw the pedal has in the front, you know. I might be able to get a little bit more slack out of it without pulling on it. Now I'll go a little bit more, and I'm gonna go take a whiz wheel. We'll go cut. I'm gonna take the cable back off. I'm gonna go cut this arm off right here. Get it out of our way. Let's see if we can get rid of that. See, right about there. I think we got it. The arm's cut out of the way. I got a bar to push on the gas pedal. And it goes, like there's the stop. And it's a hair from it. Plus, again, we kind of would want to back that out in the future. But maybe for now. Seems like it's fine. The pull start, I think, will work out okay. We may try to come up with something and maybe to like just kind of corral it a little bit, but at least it's good enough for now. We don't have to worry about reaching down there. Choke, and fuel. We can reach the both of those. Again, we still don't have an air cleaner or nothing on it yet, but I think we'll probably come up maybe with something that kind of comes up and I don't know, like a little scoop or something. For that awesome ram air effect. At 15 miles an hour. Let's work on the exhaust next. So again, we're real close to that body right there. Let's unbolt it and we'll cut the flange off and we'll see how much we can kind of, you know, it's going to be a sharp angle. Let's try to get it down away from the fiberglass and then exit down below and we'll get kind of fancy down there with maybe something. Kind of wonder what would look good. I was thinking if we get like a set of, go this way with it. Cut up like a set of handlebars. I think they have to go closer in, but maybe something like that. What if I can, yeah. Let me see if I can find a pair of a little skinnier together. Like, it would be good to be like an old 10-speed handlebars. There's a couple of defunct bikes over here. Don't recall any 10 speeds though. Might be a set of handlebars loose stuff flapping around. If not, I think at my house. Okay, I know at my house I'll have a pair. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, what about those right there? I'm gonna go quick take a tape measure. I'm gonna measure across the width of these and we'll see how that lines up. Or these right here. There's a yard sale, you know, it had an engine on it kind of thing, and I guess they gave up, but they might be a good, better chrome look to them too. Again, let's go get that tape measure. We'll measure the two up, see how they line up. So I'd say we'd probably like to come out, I don't know, maybe like below these lights right around here. What are they apart? So they are 20. A skinny 20. See what they are upstairs. Looks pretty close. You're at 21. I'm gonna quick check the other ones. I think they were wider though, but I think we're gonna go with these. I think they might be our prize. I do think these come back a little bit straighter though. We're at 22. I'm gonna go downstairs, put the tape measure up next to it, and one of these is gonna be our exhaust. Just doesn't know it yet. One of them on there, not just for ball joints. That's the plastic of the grip letting go. Did it move? getting cut off. Yeah, I do think that got glued on there. It's never coming off. There you go. Never say never. Alright, let's go see what we got. That looks pretty good. I don't know if you should go down like a... Would it go straight out like a car? Or should we... I think kind of tilting it up looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Maybe I'll find a way to fasten this kind of half-assed. And we'll lift the body off. We'll figure out what we got to do to get from up to that muffler to in the middle of this. We'll weld it all together. Well, I got it blocked up. I kind of like it. And I was looking at like pictures. You know what? Here's one car, just showing like what does a Corvair look like. Everything I looked at is got a different image, so I guess we don't have to try to shoot for anything. Just do what we want. So I got a 2x4 under there and a couple of hose clamps. It's gonna get dark, but anyway. So that's what's holding it in place, just kind of depicting where we want it. Plus we can get, you know, if we want to, we can do like slash cuts or something on them later on. But for now, I think that would kind of get us in the ballpark. All right, let's lift the body up and see. Let's take a mental image of where that's coming out. And let's see what we can do about wrapping that down and meeting up with those handlebars. And you can kind of see it with everything out of the way. We got plenty of room to work with. That part's good. There's really nothing, I don't think, in the shell that's gonna affect us. So I think if we can just kind of come down, I'd like to try to tap right in the center. That way, when it does the pulse, it'd be kind of even coming out of both sides. It'll look like a twin. Let's scrounge around for some more metal, maybe some more, probably handlebars, and see if we can get some of the curves and what we can do to kind of piece it together to get into here. I think for this, we could probably just come across and just weld something onto here. A piece of pipe or something going across. That should support it. Works as, doubles as a bumper. A wheelie bar. Too bad all this nonsense is in the way going through the center of it. That would almost get us right to the middle of it. I don't know if any other... We need that sharp bend, just, you know, to start with. I was thinking, again, if we can use that, get us down away from the body. It's got a bunch of apparatus in the middle of it. I'm gonna get the bolt out of it, take a quick peek in the center, see if there's I have a feeling there's like a post in here though. Yeah, it's got a big thing going right through the center of it. I think our best bet is just going to be starting to cut some pieces off and try to steer it in the general direction. This is the bash bar off the front of the four-wheel that we made a new one. That's got a pretty nice tight curve. Let's just go cut this right here for now, so we can get an idea of what the idea of this is. Want to fire it up with no muffler on it? See what it sounds like? I do. Fire in the hole. Let's go for some choke. Throttle? That's going to be an idle. Ah, come on. No choke. So we give it some gas. Not doing it. Not doing it right. thought I was going to have too fast of an idle. Turn the lights off too and look for flames. That's good for a new engine. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's gotta be good for a new engine. Break in? Yep, broken in. That might void the warranty. Alright, let's go back to trying to bend up some pipe. What size was that flex pipe that we had? Probably a little too big, right? That's that stuff. Yeah. A small version of that would have been pretty good. That's larger. How about some defunct Honda 70 handlebars? I've seen better days. I wonder if we can kind of clip it. You're right where that weld is. And we could almost come down to that center down there. We could probably heat this up too and like lay it down more. Let's actually, it'll be sitting lower. If we cut this, let's do that. Let's cut this and put it where that would go, and we'll see how close that comes to meeting up in the center there. It might work. We probably tape it up too and get some like exhaust tape so it's not too close to the body. Anyway, you want to cut it. I think if we, for now, let's go cut it right here. I wonder if we can even kind of beat some of this little hemorrhoid that's hanging out of it. That's probably why they were defunct. They were, yeah, they got so beat up and weak. Couldn't use them as handlebars anymore. Yeah, I'd say we go for, try cutting it right there for now. I think this will work for us. I think we do a little fine tuning, you know, grind these two together so they'll match up, and then I think we can get it probably right to the center of this one down here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me look down there. We can probably cut this one right here, tap into it. We'll just miss that hole. And we got one to deal with right here we can weld up, but that's not too big of a deal. Alright, so I'm going to take some time. I'm going to do some, try to do a little bit of finessing and see if we can get those to line up and get a couple of tacks on them. I wonder if, we could probably lift this up a hair. I'm going to leave it alone for now. So we'll lift it up a hair to reach this one. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference for us. That looks pretty good right there. I'm gonna go cut the other end of this pipe off. That looks pretty good. That's got a good match up there. Figure if we swing this up, we want to make a hole exactly opposite of that. So I'll go in there with a one of those uni bits and I'll open it up. I'll probably just open it up to whatever the ID of this is. Guess big enough? Yeah, it looks like it'll be just fine. I'm gonna go fine tune it a little bit. Probably gonna fine tune the curve on this one. And I'm gonna take a 2x4. That 2x4, we'll cut it in half and we'll support it on both sides so the center is open. We kind of wiggle things around a little bit and get them exactly where we want them before we put a tack on it. Good enough for a placeholder. Gotta kind of influence this one a little. Let's drop the body, see if we like that. If so, we'll weld it up. If not, it's just got a couple of tacks on it. We can kind of fudge it around a little. These might be a little bit high in the body. Might have to kind of kick them down a little. Let's go see. Looks pretty good. It looks like the one on the left is sitting a little lower than the right. Let's see if we can give that just a little bit of a influence. Snap. That look good? Even? We got about a finger's distance from the body. I say we go with that. I'm gonna go weld that up. Right where it is. Speak now, forever hold your peace. There we go. Get rid of that. Again, we still have some, if it's off a little, we can still kind of bend it around, tweak it, because we still haven't made these two mounts, so it's got some flex to it. There's an ugly weld, huh? Talk about a slight sharp curve. You had a curve there, and this should really have been like a taper to feed out to these two, but it's a lawnmower engine. It'll live. All right, let's go fire it up, see what it sounds like. Think it's gonna be loud or quiet? I actually think it's gonna be fairly quiet. Let's go see. Give her some choke. I'll grab the throttle, give it a little bit of throttle. Which way do you want to go? That way? Sounds pretty good, huh? Pretty even. Awesome. Definitely like to have a little bit of exhaust on it. Sounds good, I like it. Yeah. Alright, let's kill it. Yeah, I like that. So we got to make some brackets up. We'll leave that a little bit because we're still be moving, taking a body on and off, and if we decide that we need to push them down or lift them up a little bit, we will do that. What else do we got left? We got to move the kill switch to an area we can get to it, like somewhere up on the steering column. It has low oil shutoff, which is this little block back here, and then it's like a probe that goes into the engine. Maybe I'll see on the other side better. Let's grab the light. I think we could just tap onto that though and run. Yeah, you can see it better. So that's the low oil shutoff right there. And the kill switch, I think it all kind of ties together. And it just grounds out the coil when you want to kill it. So maybe we can leave that switch there. Or even just disconnect it. Maybe we'll try to come up with something else and it will mount it like right down here on the inside of the steering column. I'm gonna go take a look and see what I got for some kind of switch. So it's actually the next day. I kind of forgot where I left off, but I'm thinking we need to, we're not gonna leave these here. We could, but I want to make some kind of something that possibly is removable. Maybe we can weld like a piece of pipe to this. We'll get it in the center. We'll cup it, and maybe we'll take like a piece of pipe and like a half pipe, and we'll weld this end to it. And maybe we could put like a hose clamp around it and do one on the other side. That way we can like remove the exhaust system and still have a little bit of support. So I'm gonna go try to whittle that out. The other part is too, maybe we move a block and did it more up there. I don't know. What's your thoughts? My only fear is that if we unscrew these blocks, it's gonna kind of move a little. Might be a little bit better though if we're not in the middle of the bends of it. All right, let's try loosening one up, see if it moves around at all. I guess we'll know right away if, it seemed pretty good. Yeah, but we haven't moved. Let's get rid of the wood, see what happens. It did tweak that way a little. Actually, can we put the block back in over here? Think that'll work for us? I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna try and do it here and the same on the other side. Alright, so that's the diameter of that pipe, and I have a piece here which should just fit over it. So let's go take this, say we'll cut it, I don't know what you think about that long, and then we'll slice it down the middle. We'll make two halves. That'll be the piece that we stick to that base. We'll weld onto that and then put the clamp on the other side twice. Turn down the weld list. Fill in my hole. One more time on the other side. That should hold it, and if we have to, we could probably loosen those clamps up. If we drop the body off, it's off a little bit, we just kind of grab them and give them a little bit of a twist. But that should support it. My only thing, I'm a little concerned, because that motor can move, but we might have enough flex in here. Worst case, what we can do is we can replace these with springs. We could like take a spring and wrap it right around it. So it kind of supports it, but it has the capacity to move around a little. But we'll see. We'll see if it cracks or not. I'm gonna go clean some of this up with a flap disc and go see if I have any kind of exhaust tape we can wrap it up with. Ugly. So I went to the store and I picked up this. I thought I had some laying around, We used it on another project. So I think you're supposed to wet it when you put it on, and it kind of tightens itself up as it heats up. It's got a staple in it. We don't need to do very much. I'd say we're only probably going to do about that much. I just want to protect where the shell is. This is all open to the air, and you got to figure at some point it has to start being allowed to cool off. So I think the idea that it kind of just moves the heat down further. So let's go cut off a, I don't know, about maybe that much of it. We'll soak it in water and we'll try it. And if we screw it up, we'll try it again. And you're supposed to have like these fancy clamps that clamp it down, but we may just either go with like a hose clamp or like mechanics wire. All right, I soaked a piece. Again, it's probably our trial run, So the beginning should hold itself as long as we get a good wrap over itself, Pull it real tight. A bunch of people probably yelling at you, "You're doing it wrong." Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we should go a little bit more coverage. There we go. Let's shoot for like 40% each time around. What do you think I made out as far as how long I cut it? Looked pretty good. I think we should be out another inch and a half maybe. We could probably, add on. Like if we want to go longer, we could probably just start like we did up here, right over it. Looks pretty good. Unfraying itself. Of course the scissors are over there. I got a clamp here. The chances are I can get that over it. It's too small. Alright, let's leave it like that. I'm gonna go grab a pair of scissors, we'll clip it, and I'll get a clamp that's a little bit larger. Yeah, it's got it. I don't know, maybe we can go over it again with another row. Let's go fire it up, and we'll let it kind of warm up, burn the water off. And we'll kind of do one of these. See how much heat is kind of coming off this area, because again, the fiberglass, it's only one flat section. It's not like this whole thing laying against it, but there's one section that's probably about that close to it that we're concerned about burning. Right, cold start. Here's some choke. A little bit of throttle. Turn it on. Try to let it warm up a little. That's the problem with the idle, is you set it good for later, but when it's cold. Let that run a minute. See what we got for temperature. Oh, 160, 150. See, without the wrap. Without the wrap, it's cooler. Figures, right? 78, 183. Just make sure I'm not pointing at the engine. 155. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go wrap another one. I'm going to go right over it again And I'll bring it maybe down a little bit further. Kind of our... Ain't all that hot. That's good. All right, yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more on that.
I turn the idle way up so it'll burn it off.
It's hot, but not terribly hot. I think it's still getting rid of the moisture. And until that happens, I think it can transfer heat fairly well. But I'm gonna let it dry out. I don't know if I'm gonna, it's probably like a break-in period you're supposed to do. So we'll let that cycle a little bit. It was smoking really bad. And then that kind of seemed to have subsided. All right, I'm gonna go drop the body back down on it, try not to burn my hands, and just make sure our clearances are all good to everything that we made. It doesn't look like it can move very much on us. We still got a decent amount of clearance on each one. We could always shove a pipe in there too and influence if we have to. And up top, we bend your neck, hold on. We got a finger's worth between that and the shell. Worst case, if we have to go trim, like we'll see if this starts to go bubble up a little bit. I don't know if we could put like even like a metal heat shield in between. Kind of like you do on like a car catalytic converter. So we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, if we start seeing it change tinge at all, it'll be good. Air cleaner. I wonder if there's something we can work and build up off of this, but not be so gangly, the amount of space that it had. Let's go grab the filter that was in it, see if we can work with that at all. We got what, 2 screw holes to play with? Look at my stash, there's no oil bath air cleaner. I wonder if we can maybe adapt that, maybe sit right about there. I'm gonna keep looking, see if I have anything else. So far I kind of like that, it kind of matches the externals. I think we'll take all the stickers off the engine too so it doesn't look so modern. Beat it up, hit it with some brown paint. Patina the motor. How about the original air cleaner box? I wonder if we could take those 2 screws and try to grab where the other ones are and maybe seal up the open space around it. So I think we could possibly use it, but the problem is it's just so much airspace around it. Like that's where the 2 bolt holes are, but it kicks that direction. And the opening is oval right there. I think what we do is we got to shrink it down to fit this. So I'm going to go over to the bandsaw. I'm going to try to cut this section of the plastic out. We probably get rid of those tabs that are up there too, just so that it works like a block off plate that is locked into the top of that, and then we only have to worry about trying to get an air cleaner to match up to that. Let's do it. Lure rod. That might be an issue. The belt came off of that. Time for some glue. Strong stuff. And a little bit of glue. Good as new. Sort of. Now the bottom one will fall off. Well, that's the original plate all screwed on with all the bulkiness taken away. I think we might go for the original metal air cleaner that was on it. And I could probably grab maybe one of the screw holes, or probably drill another hole in it. And I could probably line right up to it or over it. Something like that. Or like that. We could put the original screen back in it. And I got a motorcycle foam air cleaner. Maybe we could take the gizzards of this and shove it on the inside of it. And maybe that part of it we can use. Close. What about that part of it? How about the whole thing? The way it was. Will it fit in there? With the innards? One way or another, it'll have an air cleaner. And I'll try to keep an eye out for that upper section of the... I don't have the top for it, but we'll go with that for now. All right, I'm gonna go get that knocked out, and I think next we gotta go do that kill switch. Looking in the stash for a kill button of sorts. And it's like there's an aftermarket one on this bike. And it might work just perfect for us. One of those momentary ones, I think. Yeah, you just gotta hold it in to shut it off. That might fit on the little tube that goes up to the steering wheel. Let's go get it. I haven't tried it yet. Good. I left the original one on there too. It'd be like a backup, so nobody can steal it. I'll shut that one off. So good. Let's deal with the seat. I believe it has the original back, and then some of the bottom components are there, but they're all kind of rotted out. I got some old like gym equipment seating. We might be able to use some of that. Let's go get some pieces. Yeah, so this piece was the bottom. That's the front of it right there, and it had two side bolsters. Here's the cushions from it. So that would have sat something like that. And again, a bolster on each side of it. And I think he said it had wood on it. It was all rotted out. He threw that part away. But the back looks pretty good. Could probably use that over. Let's get this crap out. And that bolts up. It also holds the body on too. So that piece looks pretty good. Let's go up and look at that gym equipment. We'll grab a tape measure real quick. We'll see what this dimension is. I have a feeling they're all going to be kind of long, but we should be able to cut it back up behind here and then fold it over. So we got 13. It's a little less. 13 by 12. Right around there. Don't mind the boogeyman. But back in here, my friend was throwing out a bunch of gym equipment. I grabbed all the cushions off of it. That one might be decent with the one underneath it. Actually, there's one right here too. Looks a little small. We don't have to fill the whole space in though. That one is 12. Watch me right on the money. Tapers down here. Looks kind of small though, don't it? Numbers don't lie. We'll grab that one. We'll grab one of the long ones over here. And what about that one right there? Oh, they look nice and cushy. Let's go grab that one. This one looks good though. Kind of matches the pattern too, don't it? Okay, a little more fluff to it. Is that our winner? All right, well, I'm hoping for this one. Seems a little long though. You can always whittle it. Too bad it's not square. There's that little one that we thought would fit. Kinda. How about third time's the charm? It won't fall out. Let's go see if that back still fits on it with that there. No, it's got to drop down about a good inch. It's an inch too long. This has to be able to go behind it. All right, so one of them we got to whittle. How about that? About the same. I think the first one that we did, I think if we cut, I don't even go that way with it. Maybe we'll shave, is this wood? If we shave a little bit of it off, we can just kind of roll the material and tuck it under. Stop it. It might be able to fit. I'm gonna work on that. Oh, this is stuck in there. So that one, the biggest cushion, we need to cut that much off of it, and it should make a nice fit. I'm gonna go pull out all the staples, try to get down to the wood, like I said, and then we'll cut the material back and just fold over this ass end, and you're not gonna see any of this because it'll be tucked behind the other part of the seat. Cuts well. Smooth. Chop, chop. Had a little metal cap screwed on the end of it. I'll put that back on. Trim that back. First trial fit. Hopefully. Come on. A little snug. Like. Good. It's got 2 holes in the bottom of it for you know, something like that we might be able to use. And I found these two, these little side, I don't know if we're gonna need them. I think they might be more of a hindrance than a help. Another one. Yeah, we'll leave them off for now. If so, I'll use those, but I have a feeling me trying to fit in this, you gotta kind of spread fairly wide. Oh, the jokes. They might be a bit of an issue. Plus, we could probably do the same thing, maybe trim them back, but we'll worry about that after sitting in it and see if it becomes an issue or not. Looks good. Got 3 different patterns going on, but definitely much better than what it was. And it had a cushion here too, but I'm nowhere near that. Well, I think other than cleaning up the mouse shit that's on the frame and oiling some wheels and that kind of thing, doing a little bit of his, I think the frame is pretty well situated. Start looking at the body. It looks like somebody took, I don't know if they took like light sandpaper over it or Scotch-Brite or something. Maybe they were planning on painting it. It has that look to it. Generally, gel coat, the color is sprayed on the mold first, and then the gel coat color and fiberglass, and then is later sprayed from the backside of a mold, and then it gets released and it has the paint already in it. It's not like this is a painted surface. So let's just go try and clean it up and see if we get anything out of it. If not, I already got another kind of plan I want to do with the shell, but let's go see if the red will come back. It's pretty beat up. You know, it's like it's missing, it's worn through all the way there. Scratches on it. And I can go take probably a little dish detergent, get all the oils and crap out of it and the dirt that's built into it. Get rid of that. And see if we can kind of spruce it up just a tad. It's nice when it gets wet. Oh, stop it. That's what it's supposed to look like. But it's not going to stay that way. So we're going to try hitting it with some 2000 grit. Again, now somebody already kind of sanded or scotch brighted on it. And it should take some of the dirt out also. We'll see how that does. See if it, hopefully it doesn't sand through. And we're just kind of like working with some clear. And possibly when we go to the compound polishing part of it, there'll be something there. But I'm going to work on that for about the next hour. Alright, see if we can get any kind of shine out of it with it, some compound. I don't know if it's just going to kind of suck it up and not play well. Be all chalky. Or it'll look marvelous. I moistened the pad a little too much. It'll dry up in a second. I was afraid of it being too chalky, actually. Let's go see if that... what that'll do. I would definitely say it's better. It still needs a wax to go over it, but that definitely makes a difference between that and that. Is it showing up? There you go. How do you see that? And what that's going to look like. So I'm going to go spend a little bit of time and see how beautiful we can make it. And I'll bring it right back. Yeah, it's getting there. Go for a ride? It's snug. Ready to go? This is gonna be rough. Not made for this. go see if the fiberglass is getting burnt up. It's oil from the chain splashing around. That's just oil. It's still burning off some crap, but you know what it is? It's burning off crap from the, I oiled everything, and it's flinging oil up on the heat wrap there. Good. If that didn't get it hot, nothing will. Yeah, we seem all right. Kids.
Wow, that thing does boogie. Boogie's right along. Sounds awesome. Yeah, it does. Boogie. I'm laughing too hard. The video it's gonna be all shaky. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Did I mess up my hair and look crazy?
Now is that a 5 horsepower?
6.5. With the governor kind of overrided.
It is really tight. Brake.
Case of emergency.
Oh, just hit that with my U-hoop?
Yes. These brake lights. He's gonna hit his truck. It does shoot fire out too. Gotta turn the idle up a little bit. We can turn the idle up a little bit.
This is a blast!
Isn't it? It goes like hell.
It hurts your shit. Yeah, it's so much fun. I've never driven a go-kart that's this much fun. Like,
it is. It's a blast.
And it's got back heat.
Oh, hey!
Doesn't like that turn.
The fuel probably goes over to the side of the bowl, maybe.
Yeah, that's when it was stalling. I came in here and I skidded around it. We need one of these to go to the store.
Keep it going. Something goes clank and it shuts off, like almost like spark, like maybe the on-off switch is getting hit. Huh. Or there's a low oil thing on it, and maybe the oil's, when you go in one direction, it's shutting off and grounding it out. So, something's turning it off on a sharp turn. We'll just have to eliminate that.
That's all?
Or we make...
Just a little tweaking.
Just go this way.
The other way, yeah.
No, just back behind the fence. Yeah. Alright guys, that worked out pretty good. Everything seems like it does what it should. You make a turn one direction, it does shut off real hard. I think the oil is splashing to one side and the low oil shut off is what's getting it. Because it's not fuel, it just immediately cuts off. So it's not like it's you know, the fuel and the float splashing around. Works awesome, probably does about 30 miles an hour. If you, donuts, no problem. Once you crack the back tires loose, if you just hold it to the floor, it'll just sit there and spin them. And that's even without a torque converter. Really came out nice. I thank Bill for hooking us up with it too. And a couple of you guys got a little ahead of me, and we were talking about you know, what it looks like and paint jobs and stuff for it. And a couple of you kind of had the right idea. So this may or may not happen. I don't know. I was planning on doing it with a car, but maybe we'll do it with this. A couple of my friends had fun being idiots too. Bunch of 12-year-olds with gray hair. Alright guys, with that, thank y'all for hanging out, and hopefully we'll have this at the Duresta 500 at some point, and do a little more playing during the summer. Till then, I'll see you later.